time of need, in our time of trouble, and in these times, we know that God is more than enough. The song starts off by saying, Jehovah Jireh. Those verses are found, that name is found in Genesis chapter 22, verse 14. And if you're not familiar with that passage, what happened here is Abraham has been told to take his son Isaac and offer him up as a sacrifice unto the Lord. The most precious thing that Abraham had. As a matter of fact, Isaac was the promise of God to Abraham. Many of you today are living in the promises of God. You're trusting in the promises of God. And with all that's going on, you're thinking, wait, I'm going to lose my promise. I'm going to lose my hope. I'm going to lose what God has given me. I want you to know something, that God is more than enough. When he asks you, just say yes. Abraham responded and went to the Mount Moriah to give his son, to sacrifice him to the Lord. We know that God today, we would know God's not going to do that, but Abraham just believed God. As a matter of fact, in Hebrews it says that Abraham trusted God, that God could raise him from the dead if need be. This is called faith, just believing God's promise. And after if you know the story, if you're familiar with the story, you know that God provided a lamb. Instead of Isaac, God provided a lamb. Aren't you glad that God has provided the lamb for us? Jesus Christ. He came. He's the one who has purchased our redemption. He is the one who has given us hope beyond hope. He's the provider. He's the provision. He is all that we need. Abraham, after he took that lamb and sacrificed it unto the Lord, he names the place where he is, and that's in verse 14. He says, and Abraham called the name of the place, the Lord will provide. In the Hebrew, that's Jehovah Jireh. And then he goes on, as it is said to this day, in the mount of the Lord it shall be provided. Mount Moriah there, where Abraham offered this sacrifice to the Lord. I want you to know something. He named it, the Lord will provide. And God did provide on a mountain that 2,000 years later, he ended up giving his only son, that you might have life everlasting. The Lord will provide. And I'm here to tell you today that the Lord still provides. And even though you may be in the midst of turmoil and fear is roaring like a lion outside of the camp, I want you to know that the good shepherd is at the door, and he is our provider, and he is our protector, and he is all that we need. Just trust him today, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Thank you for listening. God bless you.